Going live. Welcome everyone to our weekly Thursday webinar. Um, Not sure what the turnout will be for this one. The summer ones, I think, tend to, the further we get into the summer, the more people I think are going on vacation, so we don't get quite as the turnout as we got a couple months ago. But that's all good. We can hang out, ask questions. Actually, last week was a really big one. We had a lot of people last week. But these things ebb and flow. So I'm saying we have two other people besides me today. Maybe others will trickle in. Um, I actually today I normally start out by showing, some of the new stuff that we've been building. There's really nothing that's live that I'm ready to show right now. We're working on a lot of like things that are I would say pushing the envelope, really pushing the frontier of what Mindsmith can do. But I don't think they're quite at a place yet where it makes sense to do a demo. So I will show a couple of the things that we announced on our last Tile Tuesday that I think will be helpful. The first one that I wanted to show was, here, let me go back to a lesson. We now have the ability for you to create your own certificates. So some of our customers are using the certificate feature here in Mindsmith. And it's designed here and we give you some flexibility. Oops, accidentally clicked out of that. We give you some flexibility here, but what you can do if you're interested now is you can now add your own external template. So you just upload it from your computer, and then we add the learner and verification details in a fixed footer. So we have this content down here that will always be there, but then you can upload your own certificate and user experience there in the top. So that's kind of a fun one. It's a small one we released. Another one that's cool is we recently added theming to the agent. So the agent can now control your themes. This is a big one because we have a lot of customers who want to upload like theming guidelines and have the AI just create a theme for them. So that can be a really helpful one if that's your use case. So I could start a new chat and I could say, can you change the accent color to a burnt orange? And then, oh, for some reason I'm getting an error. Of course, the errors always happen on the live demos. So maybe we need to make some updates. For some reason, it's giving me an error. This could be because there are a couple things that aren't quite live yet. So yeah, we will, I guess, not show that one today. But something I will show is we have recently added the ability for you, if you're on our self-serve tier, to buy conversation packages. So conversations, for those of you who don't know, are the ability for you to create a practice role play for your customers. So, or for your learners. So the role play really brings the lesson up in terms of its effectiveness because the learner is now much more in practice or application mode. So the role plays have been a huge success with our customers on the enterprise tier because it's been, I would say, gate kept behind a conversation with a sales representative. But we now have the ability, if you're on our self-serve tier, to buy packs of conversations. So those conversations right now are $2 per conversation. So you can buy, 200 conversations for $400. And the conversations are measured by learner, so or by conversation that the learner has. So, for example, if I do this critical thinking discussion, I can say here in setting or here in grading, I can say, okay, learners are only allowed to do this 2 times. So then I'll have a maximum of 2 conversations per learner, but some of them may just do one. But it counts as a conversation every time the learner goes through this experience. And then it also only counts as a conversation if it's longer than 30 seconds. So if it's super short and it doesn't feel like they really got into the application, then we won't count it toward your conversation allotment. So if you're on our self-serve tier, go ahead and check that out. And then let us know if you have any feedback as you're building out your AI conversational role plays. So, that's all I really have to share for today. I'm going to go ahead and open up to questions for our other participants here. If you have a question, feel free to raise your hand, or put your question in the Q&A, and I'm happy to answer it.
Hi, Ethan, can you hear me?
Hi, yes, I can.
Okay. So I'm working in Switzerland and I'm trying to make an e-learning for our employees. And I have had so many technical issues, and I have been trying to contact the support through, yeah, through this little possibility on the, I don't know the word for it. Well, anyway, the communication is on the site where I'm trying to build the e-learning, and I haven't got any answers yet. So I'm really waiting. This technical issue is coming up since, I don't know, last week or something like that.
Oh, that's not good. Um, yeah, let me check it out. Were you messaging support through the question mark in the bottom right
Exactly.
corner?
Yes.
Okay, let me check it out. Let me log in to our support. And when did you message? You said a couple of weeks ago.
Well, no, so today I've been messaging, yesterday I've been messaging, and the problems has been since maybe 2 weeks or something like that.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Were you able to connect with one of our support agents or not yet?
Not yet.
Okay, let me take a look here. Okay, yeah. I'll assign it to one of our developers. Yeah, I'm so sorry to hear that. We usually try to get support issues resolved within a couple of hours. So I'll get
Are
you on
you
with one of
sitting?
our
I
developers
don't know
and
where you sit. Are you in America or is it the time zone problem? All right, I didn't know that. Yeah.
yeah. So our developers are just coming online as of the last hour or so. So I'll route it to one of them and we should be able to get it resolved.
Mm-hmm. That's nice.
Awesome. Thanks, Andrea.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Joe, you had a question?
Hey, Ethan. Yeah, just a question about using the agent to incorporate video when building out a lesson or a course. Um, I had a 85-minute webinar recording plus some documentation I used to create a course, and in the needs analysis questions that it went through, it asked if I wanted to use the entire video or parts or both, and I told it to do both. It didn't put the full video in, which is a really minor issue to fix, right? Um, but first four instances where it put video clips in to go with corresponding information, I just have a black screen
Hmm.
with like a little white circle kind of spinning. Um, and then towards the end of the course, it put appropriate clips. And I'm just wondering, is that more likely just some sort of a little glitch with the agent, or is there a prompting tip to get better results with that?
It's probably just a glitch.
Okay.
I know that we pushed a fix yesterday around the AI had stopped watching the video. There was a bug where it stopped like actually watching the videos that you had uploaded.
Okay.
So it could have come as part of that, like before we had released that fix. That'd be my guess.
Okay.
So if
Would
you
I be able
just,
to prompt it now to say, please review the video clips selected and regenerate them or something like that?
yeah, yeah, that's what I'd recommend.
Okay.
Re-uploading the video and telling it to grab the clips for those parts that it didn't quite get it on.
Okay. I'll give that a shot. Thanks.
Awesome. And if you could also email me the link to that lesson just so
Oh,
we
sure.
can
I
make
did
sure
throw it
that
into
that's
it when I ran into it today. I threw a support
Oh,
ticket in.
great.
But
Awesome.
I can send you the link too.
Yeah, we'll take a look. Cool. Any other questions from other people? If not, we can probably wrap up. All right, not seeing other questions. Have a great day. Thanks for those who joined office hours today. Bye.
Thanks, Ethan.
Thank you. Bye
Hey.
bye.